What up, world? And I see getting ready for this big Georgia Alabama SEC championship, national championship. Just came through to just give y'all a little words of encouragement, man. I tell you, man, today has been a wonderful, 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 wonderful day. I tell you, we're gonna listen to Tip a little bit. What up? What's happening? What's going on, world? I'm here to just let you know that, hey, be great today, no doubt. 1 second. 1 second. I'm back. But nonetheless, I want to give a little tidbit on y'all today. Let's talk about confusion. A lot of times, and especially I can relate, very, very, very well about this topic and subject of discussion. That confusion is something that the word confusion itself, if you think about it, it's kind of like when you think about a ball of yarn, how it's all intertwined and trying to get to the end of the end of that piece of yarn. It's confusion all around. It's hard to the decipher between what's real and what's not, and what's real and what's fake, and what's good and what's bad, and what's healthy and what's unhealthy. All these different things. It's all about confusion, and we go through it through many stages and many phases of life, right? And we all have fell victim to that good old word confusion. But what you have to learn to do is not even focus on confusion, because confusion is just like oxygen. It's everywhere. But it's just a matter, do you want to indulge yourself in it? Do you want to put yourself in that situation where you are going through a certain situation, or you're going through a certain dilemma in life, and you entwine yourself with the convoluted nature of life? Because when you just make a decision to say, I'm not finna deal with that. I'm not finna entertain that. I'm not finna to get myself involved in that, if I should say. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the simple things in life, it's the small, minute things in life which we learn to value more than everything that's so glorified. You know what I'm saying? Because when you master the small things is when you master life. Because if you constantly trying to accomplish, they always say raise the bar higher. I understand raising, setting high expectations for yourself, high standards and high goals. But if you put yourself sometimes on that pedestal, you'll put yourself, you'll sing yourself out. You'll put yourself off on the ledge, which is fine if that's what you're comfortable with being. But if you're going to be a true person to yourself, and you're going to be a true person of camaraderie and just building and loving and fellowshipping with others, you can't put yourself on that ledge. You can't isolate yourself like that, because you already know when you isolate yourself, you got idle thoughts, idle time. You got to surround yourself with good, comfortable people, good people with good vibes, because no one wants a negative Nancy. I don't, a glass half empty type person. If you gotta pick any type of friends or any type of associates or any type of entourage, definitely pick you a optimistic type person, whether you truly like them or not, because sometimes people have good traits and good characteristics, but sometimes you can't indulge yourself in them on a day-to-day basis. But still keep good quality, value, morally people in your circle. Because the thing about confusion is when you have a lot of confused people together. I used to listen to a lot of Ghetto Boys back in the day. They had the Good, the Bad, the Ugly, the album. That came out, I think, the late 90s. And they had a song called The Blind Leading the Blind. See, when you have confused people around other confused people, that ain't nothing but the blind leading the blind. That's just like if you're thinking about getting, taking on a new job, and you're gonna ask advice from a person who doesn't even have a job. That doesn't make sense. Or if you're thinking about taking on this new relationship or taking on this new endeavor with another person in life, and you're talking to a person who don't have a relationship with a person, as ass backwards. And that's where confusion comes in at sometimes. And I've been confused in my life where you don't even, and when you're caught up in that spider's web, that cobweb, you don't even realize that you're in it. Sometimes you have to take a bird eye view, step back from the situation and look at it from a bird's eye view, and then you can understand and really get a true value out of it. Because once you're in it, can't nobody tell you nothing. Can't nobody shed no light or give you no insight on what you're going through, but you. But until you decide that I'm not going to put myself around negative people, and you may even get a lot of backlash from it. You may even get a lot of, oh, you think you all that. Yes, if you don't think you all that, who else will think you all that besides yourself? So I say that to say this: eliminate negativity, pessimism, you know, just negative Nancy people. Because even if it's family sometimes, I'm a more family orientated person, probably the most family orientated person that you probably seen today. But if my closest family member is on some crazy shit, I'm not dealing with that family member today. If my children on some dumb, I'm not okay. You be on that. I'm not going to deal with that because you have to stay grounded. You have to stay balanced. You have to keep confusion out of your life. Because the moment you allow it in, the moment you open those floodgates, the moment you let that little window of opportunity come through and peek his head and you know ramble around through your brain and through your situation and through your life, daily routine and rituals, it's going to be total chaos. It's going to be pandemonium. It's going to be uproar. So you have to learn to just say, hey, look, you got to hit the Heisman Trophy on them. Miss me with that. I don't want to be bothered. But if you get consumed with it and you find yourself entertaining it, it's hard to understand what I mean. It's hard to see yourself in it when you're in it. You know what I mean, if that makes sense. So as soon as you see it rearing its head, you have to hit that Heisman on it because I'm not going to deal with it. And because you have to learn from your mistakes in life. I made a lot of mistakes, a lot of mistakes. I'm 37 years old, and I tell you, I made mistakes probably 36 years of my life. But it's not about the 36 years. It's about this year. It's not about yesterday. It's about today. So that confusion will get you caught up in. See, that's you got to think about it. When you wind up that ball of yarn, right? You start with the first end of the piece, and then they wrap around and around and around and around and around. Next thing you know, you got a ball this big, right? But if you focusing on this first little piece that they started this ball with, instead of trying to start from the end of the ball, you can't worry about that little piece until you get to it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And you should be trying to get to that inner piece or that beginning of the problem or that beginning of confusion. Because all it's going to do is continue to make you confused. All it's going to do is put you in a situation where you steady trying to revert back, steady trying to look back and see what's going on, peeping over your shoulder. The only time you should be looking back is to see how far you have come. When you can reminisce on, damn, I used to be a fool, or damn, I did that. That was stupid. And we all have. We all have made mistakes that we probably the biggest regrets of our lives. We hold regrets, but you have to let those regrets go and leave them where they were. They're a stepping stool in your life, but there's no need to continue to, revert back and idolize that shit. Because when you idolize a past mistake, you make the mistake relevant. If that make it, when you idolize things that you've been through and you keep talking about, oh, this, oh, back in the day, fuck back in the day. And I excuse my French, but for real, because that's a part that you really need to let go. That's a part that you really need to just subside with and just say, hey, I'm working on right now and I'm working on trying to be great today. That's what it's about. That's what it's all about. And I just want to give y'all a short, 10-minute conversation with you, let you know that, hey, I care about you and I want you to be great. And I want you to understand that you are going to go through confusion. You are going to go through trials and tribulations. You are. That is life. But if you decide to keep dwelling on that after the fact, that's your fault. It's nobody's fault but yours. And that's why you have to learn to say, okay, all right, hey, I made a mistake. Learn from it, move on. Like, boom, I did this too. Learn from it, move on. No more shoulda, coulda, woulda. No more goddamn I shoulda did that. I coulda did that. Look what I woulda did. I woulda did. If it wasn't for that, nah. What you gonna do about it today? Because the moment you say, if I woulda did it this, then, and that, and I shoulda did this, that, and that, you create confusion in your life because your mind is now battling with the past and the future and the present. When all you got is the present. All you got is today. That's all you got. So focus on what you can do to fix those mistakes you made, to not create or make those same mistakes twice. Because once you make same mistake twice, two, three times, that's a choice. That's not a mistake. You can't continue to blame it on a mistake. Oh, I messed up. No, you chose. And I just want to put that out there. We're gonna rise, not rise up tonight. We're gonna go dogs tonight. It's a national championship game tonight against Alabama, SEC championship game. I've been predicting that stuff all year, and I'm gonna make a prediction out there tonight. Okay, Falcons still a Super Bowl. All right, be great today. I love y'all. Peace.